Today we're going to take a look at the two remote control robots created for the 1999 film Lost in Space. These toys were created by the one on the left by Toy Island Toy Company and the one on the right by Trendmasters. As you can see, the Trendmasters one is larger and looks considerably better. The Toy Island one on the left is a sort of a cheaper alternative. Both come with remote control units. These are not radio control units, these are remote controllers. You can see both are attached by wires. So let's first take a look at the Toy Island one on the left here. Okay, so here we have the Toy Island remote control robot. This is by far the cheapest of the two in looks and sort of quality. Certainly it's made of a sort of strange vibrant blue plastic which doesn't really match any of the other toys that were released for this line, and is a much simplified version of the robot. There's very little detail on the body and very few sort of key features really. It still has some nice bits to it, but it's not a patch on the larger Trendmasters one. As you can see, the arms rotate quite nicely. There's a nice lot of joints on them, so you can rotate them and pose them. The claws on both hands open very nicely, and the smaller arms on the front are also sort of partially jointed. The one on this smaller one here has claws that you can open and close, and then this one just is posable. Nothing much goes on there. The main feature with these remote control toys is the fact that they are remote controlled. Here you have a very small sort of device for controlling it. This is a very simplified thing. Basically this toy goes forwards and backwards. There's not even any sort of control button for this. There's a large switch on the top. If I switch it one way it goes forwards, and if I switch it the other way it goes backwards. I will give you a brief demonstration of this. It moves very fast, so I'm only going to do it very quickly just so you can see it, because it will roll off my desk. And as you can hear, it's dreadfully noisy. The motor in it is pretty poor, and the gearing really is very loud, but it does the job, and it's a very simple toy. There is a button in the middle here. If I press this, you'll see some lights light up on the front of him. There should be some sounds to this. I've taken it all apart, but the speaker seems to have given up on it. This is now, oh well, what's it, about 15-16 years old, so that's hardly surprising. It should say, you know, danger, Will Robinson and that sort of stuff, but in this instance it doesn't. There are a couple of other little gimmicks on this one. The head pulls out. It's spring loaded, so it doesn't really stay in place much, and on the back of it, if I just move all these wires out of the way, there's a secret sort of data plate here that I can pull out at the top. There you go, if you can see that. And on the front of the toy, there's a secret panel. If I flip that down, if the speaker was working, you would insert this into here. You'll see the lights light up if I do this. And it will say a secret phrase. Obviously, as the speaker's not working, you can't hear that. So that's the sort of the hidden feature gimmick on this. There's no missile launchers, nothing much else. It's a pretty cheap toy. I guess at the time it was fairly advanced. It would have been much better if it was remote control, but it's not. So you have to put up with the cable and the silly sort of remote control unit here. Right, let's take a look at the Trendmasters one. So here we have the Trendmasters remote control robot. As you can see, this is immediately a much better figure. The detailing on this is fantastic. It measures, oh, it must be about 25 centimeters tall when it's standing up. It has loads of cool little features on it, so let's go through all of those first. First of all, the head pops out so you can pose it, which is quite nice. The arms are very poseable. It's got quite a few joints on here, so you can easily rotate this around. The claws open and the shoulders move. Likewise, the claws down here can pose quite nicely, and the one on the right has opening and closing claws. It also has the ability to raise and lower. If I put it side on here, you can see I can clip it down into a sort of stealth sleek mode, and then there's a button on the back here. If I press that, he will pop up and be in his sort of fully armoured mode. It also has a rocket launcher on its shoulder. If I just slide this forward here, you can see there's a rocket launcher with 2 missiles stored down in the bottom of the character. I can easily slot those in there. Let's do that. There you go. It's now ready to fire. So let's just get that out and put it back in place. There's also a secret compartment, which I didn't realise until I sort of started researching it to do this video. If I turn the character around, on the back of it you can see there's a slight difference in both sides. If I click here, you can see a panel is removed, and in the instructions it says that you can store your secret messages in there. So a small gimmick there, not the best, but it's one I didn't really realise until I sort of started looking into it. So now on to the remote control part of this. There are two modes to this toy. It comes with a large sort of control box here. This is connected by a lead, so this is remote control rather than radio control. And on the bottom of it you can see it says A, B and off. If we switch this into A mode, the toy is actually, oops, shooting me there. The toy is actually a room guard, so it has a sensor in it. If I move my hand over it, it is activated. So let's switch that off because it can be quite annoying. If I switch it onto mode B, this is now in the remote control phase. There's a tiny joystick here. If I push forwards, he will move forwards. Oops, no, wrong way around. If I push forwards, he moves backwards. And if I push backwards, and that's the two bits of movements. When he goes backwards, he actually turns slightly, so you can line him up and move it around the room, but essentially it's a forwards backwards motion only. There is one final feature on the handset here. There's a small button here and a little microphone there. If I press that button and speak into the microphone, the robot will actually talk. So let me do that and you can see how effective it is. Halt, or robot will destroy. As you can see, a bit of a gimmick, but not the worst gimmick that I've ever seen in a toy. There's actually one final feature I forgot to mention, which is the fact that, like some of the other toys in the line, there are magnetic spiders that stick to it. So if I just stick that there, you can see these magnetic spiders stick to the damage on his shoulder. This is a key part of the movie, with spiders crawling all over him, and there is actually a detachable panel here, like so. This is held on with magnets. When you buy the toy, this is actually screwed in place, so it requires you to unscrew it to get the detachable plate off. Let me put the deluxe toy next to this so you can just see quite how large it is. The deluxe toys match the size of the action figures. And as you can see, this is nearer a sort of a 12-inch style toy. Same sort of detailing across both. The large one does look excellent. The chrome on it really makes it stand out. So a really nice toy to have in your collection. Of the two remote control toys, the Trendmasters one is a far superior mould. This Toy Island one is a little bit on the cheap and cheerful side. In fact, this is the only copy of this toy I've ever seen. I've never seen it anywhere else. I was given this as a present in the early 2000s by someone who worked for a toy company, and I've never seen it again. The larger Trendmasters one I've seen a few times. It's often broken, as it does obviously have lots of sort of spindly limbs and things, and you'll be lucky if all the electronics still work after all this time. As you can see with my Toy Island one, the sound just doesn't work anymore. But that's what happens with old toys, so you take your chances. If I was going to buy one of these, definitely get the big one because it really does look great. Thanks for watching.